Jenny Bell from Clarington, Ohio, and I'm listening to Barbecue Central.
Let's go!
We'll do it live. Okay. Well, do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
So to get that perfect barbecue, you use wood. Are you sure it's safe? Whatever. We put the lighter fluid on, strike the match, and... Oh! Should we call the fire department? That might be a good idea.
All right, good evening and welcome to the really big Barbecue Central show. This is the show that talks about all things that are important to the world of barbecue and grilling. This show originating from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city, Bomb City, USA, Cleveland, Ohio, the barbecue capital of the North Coast. I am your program host, Greg Rempe. Happy to have you aboard here on your Tuesday evenings, a live fire fun and frivolity show. If you would like to get in contact with the show this evening, or you would like to follow the show during off-show hours, here's how you do all that.
You can get in touch with the show by sending an email to Greg at BBQCentralShow.com. Follow us on all the social media channels at BBQ Central Show. And be sure to subscribe to the show podcast feed on your favorite podcast platform.
Anything else you want to find out about the show can be found at the main website, thebbqcentralshow.com. And here's what's happening in case you get the newsletter. It is the first Tuesday of a month, that being the last month of Q1 2025. The monthly visit from our pal Malcolm Reed from How to Barbecue Right, pitmaster of Killer Hogs when he does that. Got a lot of interesting stuff to talk about Malcolm with some YouTube stuff. We have some cooking stuff. We have some general knowledge stuff. We have some trending stuff. Maybe throw in a hot honey take. We'll see what happens. So Malcolm Reed, first hour. Then we'll move to the second hour, and because it is the second hour, the first Tuesday in the second hour, bringing a visit not only from a guy you would see here each month, but this time around, back-to-back visits, as he sat in last week for a missing John Solberg. It is our pal Sam, the Cooking Guy, thecookingguy.com. So Sam pulling double duty here in as many weeks. And this time around, a lot more cooking, a lot more video talk, all that fun stuff that you would normally find. Now, I say that to also say, while I do have a working outline of what I think I might want to talk about tonight, that does not mean we will get to some and or any of that. But best intentions are laid right here at 9:03 Eastern, and we'll see where that happens in about an hour and 10 minutes from now. So that's how the show is laying out. A couple show regulars, a couple of the industry's biggest names. Malcolm, hardly any bigger in the barbecue industry. And then when it comes to YouTube cooking or regional cooking in general, certainly no bigger than Sam, the Cooking Guy. So looking forward to talking with both of those tonight. Don't forget, you can follow me socially on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and LinkedIn, all at the handle at BBQ Central Show. And of course, we say good evening to those of you watching tonight through one of our video streaming platforms, which can be found at facebook.com/BBQ Central Show, or you can go to twitter.com/BBQ Central Show. You can also watch on YouTube, which is youtube.com/@BBQ Central Show, where we happen to have a YouTube poll question of the week, and we're asking everybody this. On the heels of what was a shocking revelation by the embedded correspondent from the great city of Utah, Rusty Monson, I'm asking everybody tonight, washing any kind of meat is a learned behavior, yes or no? And currently 100% of you are saying, yes, that is a learned behavior. You might recall last week, Rusty said unequivocally that he thought washing meat, especially chicken, was a fad, and that this is something that as quickly as it has appeared on social media over the last handful of months will quickly go away, much like every other social media trend, butter candles, smoked Twinkies, whatever stupid nonsense you see people do for a handful of weeks. What's the other one everybody was all abuzz about a couple of years? Smoked cream cheese, right? Rusty thinks washing your chicken and or protein is a fad, is a trend, and that's going to wash away. However, Rusty is wrong. This has long been a hot topic of debate. This has long been a very polarizing topic. Dare I say, outside of current environmental political issues, this could be the single most polarizing topic that you could talk about anybody with on the face of the earth. Do you wash your chicken? Somebody like myself would go, if you're washing your chicken, you have to be a kook. However, somebody on the other side of that argument would say, hey, if you are not washing your chicken,
Andrew, you are
not washing your chicken. So, Andrew, if you are not washing your chicken, then you can't come into my house, or I won't come to your house and eat your food if you're not washing your chicken, or protein for that matter. I also piled on to the thought that if you are one who washes your chicken, Sam, the cooking guy, said if you're washing chicken, you're probably definitely washing pork. I said, I think if you're washing chicken, you're probably washing every single protein that comes out of some type of package. That would be a steak in a cryovac. That would be, or steak or beef, whatever, in either a cryovac or what you would find in the butcher case, already in the styrofoam box with the cling wrap around the top of it. Or definitely chicken, of course. I think if you're washing chicken, you're probably washing everything else. You're not stopping at chicken. That's not the one hurdle that you have to clear in order to get over yourself. But what are you doing? Here, Diane Me in Facebook watching, longtime fan of the show, longtime guest of the show, and the only person who has self-banned when I've talked about horse meat. Diane, been washing chicken for over 50 years. Diane, I say, why would you do it? What are you doing? How are you washing chicken? Soap? Bleach? Are you doing the citrus juice and salt rub? Like, you're not really washing it. You're rinsing it, number one. But what is that doing? Like, it's just helping you mentally get over a hurdle that you have about chicken coming out of a package? Am I right to assume, Diane, that then if you are washing chicken, you are also rinsing other protein, steaks, briskets, pork butts, ribs, pork tenderloins, things like this? I have to imagine you are not stopping at chicken. She does clarify, just cold water rinse. So rinsing, washing, also that could be like some people believe that they're doing something to their chicken or proteins when they add the citrus juice and salt. Some people are just doing a rinse. What are you even doing the rinse for? Nothing's happening. This is a topic, as I had said in the beginning of this. A, I didn't think I was going to talk about it this long. B, very divisive. You can have people on both sides of the fence or on either side of the fence. Here's the good news. You get somebody highly evolved as myself, you can tell me that you do that, and I might not agree with it, but I can tell you this, I love you just the same. God bless that you do it. God bless. You keep doing that if that's what you want to do. Not for me, not for most of the people that I know, but God bless you. You keep doing that, and you keep thinking that that might be changing your life in some positive way, and keep at it. Before we get to Malcolm, I have an email from John in Kentucky, not Terry.
Terry?
John. He reached out to me via the fan reaction section on the website, which I believe is in, you have to go to navigate to About the Show, and then scroll all the way down, and then there's fan reaction. How did you hear about us? That's a question I ask you. John writes, just looking for barbecue podcast. What barbecue topic would you like to hear about? John says, more regional barbecue. Any show feedback, I ask. And John says, I enjoy the show every week, especially Robert Moss. Enough that I picked up a subscription to Southern Living magazine and listened to his book on Audible. I enjoy hearing about new products and from the various experts you interview each and every week. Keep up the great work, and not everyone from Kentucky is quite so critical. Regards, John. Of course, John talking about our pal Terry in Kentucky, who likes to write in. John, thank you very much for writing in. We will talk about some regional styles of barbecue. In fact, last year, during the Robert Moss segments, if you don't stretch that far back, we did talk a lot about regionality of a lot of different things, to include some styles of barbecue. So go back into the annals of 2024 and check out the second Tuesday of the month regular guest, 35 past the first hour, Dr. Robert Moss. All right, before we get to Malcolm, let's talk about Pits and Spits. We kick things off with the Pits and Spits griddle. The gas griddle combining the power of a traditional grill with the versatility of a flat-top griddle. Engineered with precision, crafted from top-quality materials, this versatile griddle is set to revolutionize your outdoor cooking experience. Constructed of 304 marine-grade stainless steel, fully welded design, the griddle comes with 4 burners to accurately manage your heat zones and gets blistering hot with 80,000 BTUs. Yes, made with the Pits and Spits signature quality, the griddle is designed to last for generations. Now, for those of you building your outdoor kitchen, your ultimate outdoor kitchen this year, you have to check out the new built-in pellet grill from Pits and Spits. Designed for all discerning grill masters who demand top-tier performance, this grill is the centerpiece for any serious outdoor kitchen. From low and slow smoking to high heat searing, this grill can handle it all. Briskets, ribs, pizzas, veggies, you name it. This grill can cook it, and with these Pits and Spits legendary craftsmanship, you can be confident it's built to last. Stainless steel construction on this one as well, and a design that's reliable, that is versatile. So if you're ready to take your cooking to the next level, head on over to pitsandspits.com/BBQ Central. Again, that's Pits and Spits, all spelled out, everything spelled out. Pits and Spits, double T on the Pits and Spits, /BBQ Central, and use promo code BBQ Central for a free spice pack with orders over $500 or more. Easy way to get a free spice pack. Buy a grill of any kind, a fire pit of any kind. It's going to be over $500. Put BBQ Central at checkout. Get that free spice pack. Their steak rub is tremendous, by the way. Shout out to Brian and the gang over there at Pits and Spits. All right, we're back with Malcolm Reed right after this. Stick around. Be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Broadcasting live from the Barbecue Central Show studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
I welcome you back. This segment brought to you by Fireboard, makers of Fireboard 2, Fireboard Pro, Fireboard Spark, Fireboard Beacon, and the new Fireboard Pulse. When you use the Fireboard app, you have total access to all devices anywhere in the world. Find out more by visiting fireboard.com or call with questions 816-945-2232. The first Tuesday of a month, 14 past the first hour. What else needs to be said? Malcolm Reed. And by the way, Malcolm Reed is a guy that is not only, as I had mentioned in the newsletter, probably the most recognizable face in barbecue, but when it comes time to put in effort on the segment, geez, this guy was muscling through computer issues and connection. Luckily not on my side this time, but still muscling up. Fewer men would have quit 5-6 minutes into it, but Malcolm, as always, Appreciate the time and appreciate the fight to come in.
Hey, good to see you, man. There was a little bit of panic setting in there for a second, but Tyler showed up and saved me.
Thank goodness for Tyler, the guy that said to me a month ago, hey, you might want to check out what version of Chrome. I did a little research, blah, blah, blah. So not only your tech guy, but evidently part-time tech guy for the Barbecue Central show as well, which I certainly appreciate. And the check for part-time tech is in the mail for Tyler as well. So we have a YouTube poll question of the week, Malcolm, and we're asking everybody this, including all guests tonight. Washing any kind of meat or rinsing any kind of meat is a learned behavior, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
I think so. I catch hell on it all the time, man. People bust me for not washing my chicken, and I don't believe in it. You're doing nothing for it. You're not like you mentioned in the first pre-show or whatever. It's just rinsing it. You're not washing it. So what do you think you're doing?
So there are there are replies that are coming in through the instant chat here, and I'll get to those here in a second. So I don't ever recall, this is not a topic that we were going to talk about, but since somebody had mentioned it, now I'm lost in a rabbit hole and we're going to go till my satisfaction because it's my show. I don't ever recall seeing my mom rinse chicken or rinse beef, rinse anything, to be quite honest. So maybe that's where I don't rinse my chicken. That's where it comes from. I don't rinse my meat. But I'm seeing in the instant chat that I'll get to here in a second. Do you recall your family members, your food idols, rinsing any type of protein? Never. Nor Rochelle's parents, for that matter?
Yeah. No. I mean, that's not something I've ever seen. That was new to me when people started talking about it. I was like, what are you talking about? I always heard it could spread more germs.
Could this be a north-south thing? Could more Yankees be into rinsing protein than Southerners?
I think it's more people that really don't know that much about cooking. So they just think if you throw it underwater, it's going to clean something, because it does look, if you got raw chicken, it kind of looks a little bad sometimes in the package. It's got a little, dampness to it, and it's just meat juices. But I guess people get it in their mind, well, if we run it underwater, it's going to clean it up and get rid of that. But it doesn't do anything for you.
So some people in the instant chat that are replying back, because I said, what do you think you're doing if you're rinsing it underwater? You're not cleaning it. You're not washing it. Some guy from Hawaii says just rinsing chicken is what he does to get the gross, drippy juices. So my argument to Lance is his name. My argument to Diane would be get paper towel. Put your chicken on a rack. Get paper towel. Blot it, and then if you want to apply this might catch extreme hell from those that are regarded chicken washers, but I say this: pull it out of the pack, don't pat it dry at all, apply seasonings, your binder's already on there, and then right to the smoker. Guess what? Your life has changed for the better. You're saving money on nonsense yellow mustard and Worcestershire sauce and all this other stuff you might be using as a binder, when you have perfectly natural chicken juices that will catch all that rub and make it stick right there.
I'm with you. I feel you.
And by the way, for everybody giving Malcolm shit, leave him alone. How dare you? This guy's a national treasure and you're giving him hell for not rinsing chicken. I mean, let's all accept what we do and move forward. All right, so I was talking with Sam the cooking guy, Embedded Correspondents, last week. He sat in for John Solberg, and one of the questions that I asked of everybody was if you thought Sam's channel would get either 2 or crest over 4 million subs. Not with any time frame, I just mean in general. And I thought that might lead into a deeper question that I would ask you tonight. So holding Sam's potential cresting to 4 million, you're in a similar situation, but by half the numbers. So you're almost to 2 million. I have you currently at 1.82 million subscribers as of the first of the month. Do you think that you ever crest 2 or over 2 million subscribers?
I think so. It seems like it is a little bit of a slower climb now, as so many people are becoming creators and there's so much more content. but every day we get new subscribers. And I don't see the fall off as fast as the new subscribers we add. So it's just going to take time. You know, whether I'll get burnout on it and decide to quit or I'll die before I ever get there, I don't know. But I think there's always going to be a steady climb as long as you're relevant, as long as you're putting out decent content, and, you know, as long as you keep going. Where I see people fall off in like YouTube, for instance, is they just stop, or they have these big lulls where they don't create any content, and you fall out of people's mind. You know, you're just not circulated in the algorithm anymore. So as long as you're staying relevant, constantly making content, I think you can steady climb. So it can happen. I think Sam will definitely do it. He puts out great content.
If you were releasing videos 3 to 5 times a week, do you think you would have a quicker climb to 2 million? Or is it solely, as you said, there's been such an influx of creators that it is robbing a little bit from the download pool, if you will?
Yeah, I think we kind of concentrate on all the platforms, so I cut my time up on how much I actually spend creating for YouTube. So if I was to just put all of my focus into one of them, I think I would definitely see it, because, you know, like on TikTok, for instance, we kind of slowed back on YouTube and we built up 2 million on TikTok real fast. So it's possible, but you're trading those subscriber numbers to spread it out over multiple platforms. So that's kind of been our approach at it here lately. We still want to be relevant on YouTube, but also want to be relevant on the other platforms too. And there's just not enough time to create content for, you know, just one specific one all the time.
On a scale of 1 to 10, specifically on YouTube, how much does it matter that you get to 2 million subscribers?
I mean, it's not really important to me. The numbers aren't. I mean, it's great and all, but I mean, what's the difference in 2 and 1.8 or 2 and 1? Still a lot of eyes. It's still a lot of eyes. So.
Was it more important to get to 1 million? Sam said that the first million was the most exciting time. Like I remember specifically, it was, I don't know if it was 2002 or 2001, whatever. Like they started live streaming, showing them going over, like hitting 1 million and then quickly going over it because it was that exciting for them. I don't remember you guys streaming getting into 1 million, but that seems like it would be like, no offense to those that have multiple kids, mine included, but like that first one is some kind of a life changer. So maybe getting to that first million is also something similar.
It was, it was important to us, but we didn't really just watch every day to try to see when it happened. We knew that it was going to happen. We just could kind of tell from the trajectory of it, but we didn't care. We just still kept making content. And I think, you see, like, you have these big numbers, but if you look at how many actual views on the content you're getting, you can kind of gauge how many people are really, really watching what you're doing. And so as long as like we drop a video and it's getting, 100,000 plus every single piece of content we drop, we're pretty happy. So we kind of have this bar that we're looking at. Like we want to stay relevant enough to where we're always getting 100,000 views on any video we drop. We feel like that's doing pretty good. So
it seemed like there was a lot of collaboration going on over the last 2 to 3 years, a lot of big names in their particular niche of YouTube combining with somebody else that was some kind of a cook and doing a show together. Were you ever interested in trying to get a lot of those in to see if that was something that might help not only your views, but whoever else you'd be collaborating with?
I've done a few things like that where I've had guests come on and we do cooks and stuff like that. It's something that it's fun, but it's challenging with people's schedules and stuff like that. I mean, I think it's great anytime you can get, 2 people together and you're both helping each other because it's benefiting both people. And I look to start doing probably some more stuff like that as we're starting to play around with lives, and because I never really did lives. And I'm kind of, taking a note from you, the way you do your podcast, it's live every week. I want to start, incorporating. It's not really going to be a podcast style. I think it just wants to be hanging out and cooking something. But I think it's just another avenue of some way to see content where it's not just geared towards a single recipe. It's just hanging out, talking, answering questions, stuff like that.
So what does that look like from a production standpoint? You got to invest in a couple different camera shots, and you got to get you have the smokehouse, you have a lot of the stuff that most people don't have to get in there, but there still is a production aspect that you have to take into account. Yeah,
and that's like last week we did one on Saturday on TikTok for the first time. We did like an hour I cooked some chicken wings on the Weber grill, and I just sit there and talk, and it was great. The only, I just had Rochelle there with the cell phone. That was the great thing about TikTok is it's kind of raw, but I really want the YouTube feel to feel like that too. I don't want it to feel overly produced. I want it to feel like, man, I'm sitting there watching this guy and he's just using his phone, and I could do this if I wanted to. Maybe it'll inspire somebody else to start up. And it's really, the production isn't that much. It's not edited. It's kind of real. It's almost like watching a reality show kind of that you're interacting with instead of just watching on TV.
Will you promote when you're going live? Like, do you want to do one a month or one a week?
That's how we're scheduling it so far. We've kind of got certain dates. Most of them are on the weekends. That's just where we have time to do it. So, the last one was like 5:00 on Saturday evening. It was just a good time. So we're going to try to, and then we will definitely start putting the word out. We're going to do it on our podcast. That's the best way we get our word out to people is on the, the How to Barbecue Right podcast. And be looking for those. I'd like, man, if you want to come on there sometime and jump on a live with me, that'd be fun.
Like on
We're going to
TikTok?
play around with that too. Yeah, there's like split screen stuff you can do. Now, this is Tyler's job. That's what he's got to figure out how we do it. but I think it's a great way, to get somebody else on there to get a different take on things and also to help promote them, bring them up.
What was your big crest number when you were doing a chicken wing cook?
Oh man, I don't know. It was going so fast. I mean, it was
hundreds, thousands.
Yeah. Oh no, there was. Yeah, I think it was well over 20-something thousand people was on it at one time.
20,000 people.
Yeah.
Holy
but if you look
crap.
at TikTok, man, there's hundreds of thousands of people live on it at any given time. And there's people that just stay live on TikTok. So it's definitely going. And I think a lot of these channels are warning you. They're giving you more, I guess, space in the algorithm or whatever if you go live more. It's like they want you to be live. And so I'm just going to give them what they want.
Well, I have heard outside of the cooking sector that one of the most popular things in TikTok, and then I don't know if it's in China, whatever app they got over there, not necessarily a TikTok competitor, but just some social app, video app. They are really big into the live on social media shopping. So I'm thinking how to barbecue right, like QVC. So, 10 minutes, you do like cooking portion, and then you like stroll over to the other side, and here's the how to barbecue right rubs, and you got a link somewhere, and you can start amassing a small fortune there, and then you stroll back over and do some other cooking stuff, and you go back over, and now you're selling wingman T-shirts and all this other stuff. So evidently, and like you said, they want you to stay on for hours on end. They're happy to give you the room, and these people are making a killing.
Absolutely. I mean, I guess that's how they sell it to their advertisers to, for all the views that's on it. It's keeping people on their platforms in a time where everybody's scrolling now. I guess holding those eyes to it really works. But, I don't want to just stay just on TikTok. We're going to play around with the YouTube and Facebook too. So we're going to try to do it on all the platforms and just kind of spread it out, see which ones, because we got people that watch us on all of it.
20,000 live views at any point is a huge number. So that's something you definitely want to tap into without question. Now, changing gears a little bit. On your show, on the How to Barbecue Right podcast, you were answering a question from either community or a listener submitted or whatever about competition briskets and the aesthetic that a competition brisket is giving right now versus a traditional packer. And you're way off competitions, certainly a lot further off than you used to be back in the day. What do you think the state of competition barbecue is these days across all sanctioning bodies and platforms? Where do you think it is?
From my standpoint, it doesn't feel as big as it once was. And I think it really happened after COVID. COVID didn't help. And then with prices as high as they are, it's like there got to a point where competition kind of peaked. And now it feels like, just from what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing, is that it's fell off some. I mean, there's a lot of contests, especially in our area in the Mid-South, that are just gone.
Yeah.
And I'm talking contests that had been there for 20 plus years, that they're just, these little towns aren't doing them anymore. And even in our town in Hernando, they've completely dropped. I kept it going for a couple of years. And then when we kind of backed out, it dropped off and they just let it go. They just don't see any value in it. from what it cost them now because of how expensive things is. So yeah, I mean, I think it's competition. I don't want to say it's on the decline, but it's not near as good a state as it was in at one point.
I feel like we might almost be past a reprisal of competition barbecue. It was, as you said, so very popular. It was on TV a lot. There were new TV shows through various different cooking channels and media outlets that were getting tossed up to see what it seemed like. Almost this was the jewel that we were all going to try and take advantage of and throw it up against the wall, see what sticks. And it all stuck, and then it all fell off the wall, and then pandemic certainly. But I think even maybe not well before the pandemic, but the dirty secret about competition barbecue that I was hearing from a lot of the pitmasters, because remember, the beginnings of this show, many would have called this the Barbecue Central competition show, because if I had 3 or 4 guests during the course of a show, 3 or 4 guests might have been pitmasters coming off a weekend of competition at varying locations across the country, talking about how that event went for them, blah, blah, blah. And it is well changed over the last handful of years. But the point I was trying to make was the dirty secret that everybody was talking about was, hey, this isn't cheap anymore. You have to buy, or it feels like you have to buy heritage breed pork and Wagyu beef, and you got to have this kind of a toy hauler or this kind of an offset smoker. And if you're not making pretty decent living and everybody in your family is into that hobby and that's where the money's getting sunk, but you don't also have money to go on vacation or maybe feed the kids that week because you spent all the money chasing ass, keeping up with the Joneses. And I think so that was something that snowball was already down the hill, then couple in a pandemic, and then whatever you want to say about how certain sanctioned bodies are being run right now. I think we're past the time where it could see a golden age yet again.
Yeah. I don't think less people are cooking. The barbecue as a whole is great. I mean, there's more people into cooking in their backyard now than there ever has been. Yeah. And so, from a business standpoint, the state of barbecue is in great shape. But the competition side, I mean, everything you said is true. It's just, and maybe it's just the ebb and flow of it. I just happened to be in it at a great time where it was really on an uptick, and it was the thing to do, and it was mainstream. It brought, competition barbecue kind of brought barbecue as a whole mainstream with TV, with everything that we saw. But I think it's just part of it. That's how it's going.
Can I put you on hold for a second and then we can pick back up?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Stand by. We're talking with Malcolm Reed right here from How to Barbecue Right. If you're not subscribed to his YouTube channel, you're probably new to barbecue just this very night. HowToBBQRight.com is his website. Let's see here. 0 participants there. I forgot to mention, I do have the Zoom call-in link tonight working. I think. It does appear to be working. So if you want to click that in the YouTube chat, if you want to jump in, if you got a question for Malcolm, I could probably figure out how to mix that in, at least the audio. Yours to take advantage if you want. Hey, what do we love about ceramic cookers? We love that they're fuel efficient. We love that you can achieve low and slow temperatures for traditional barbecue meats. We love that you can get rip-roaring hot for the high-temperature grilling of steaks and other thin cuts. But what's missing in the everyday lineup of ceramic cookers? The real ability to do true two-zone cooking. Two-zone cooking is very important to both professional and backyard cooks alike. It's the best way to manage a fire and cook with confidence. However, getting a two-zone fire and a round ceramic cooker is not very realistic. Why? Because it's round. Enter Primo in the game-changing oval design. Shape gives you the ability to execute a two-zone setup that you desire, also giving you those other ceramic grill benefits as well. And when you break it down, there's more than 60 different ways to configure the Primo cooker to cook on, so you're only limited by your culinary imagination. All the accessories you want as well, rotisserie kits, pizza inserts, and much, much more. And more to come here in 2025. Stay tuned for that. The bottom line is this. They got the best ceramics in the biz. They have patented technology. They have true two-zone cooking capabilities and multiple sizes of ovals. What's the catch? Only sold through dealers, which is not that much of a catch. So go to primogrill.com, find a dealer near you, and then check out the ovals. Buy which one best fits your needs and your budget. But don't buy down. Always buy up. That's what I say. primogrill.com, longtime sponsor of this show, and we'll be back with more Malcolm Reed right after this.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show.
And we welcome you back. This portion of the show being brought to you by Pit Barrel Cooker, the most unbelievable outdoor cooking device on the planet. Available in 3 sizes with a host of accessories. Doesn't matter if you're a beginner or a professional. It's a cooker you want to add to the arsenal. Visit pitbarrelcooker.com and tell them the Barbecue Central Show sent you, and we are... Just changed my ears there for a second. We are joined once again by our pal Malcolm Reed from How to Barbecue Right. A lot of people in the instant chat appreciating the conversation that you and I are having here this evening, Malcolm, so love to hear that. If you had to pick one, as we are tying up this competition talk, would you do a KCBS contest or an SCA contest or a competition pizza contest or the Rib Alliance competition contest?
I'm going to say KCBS.
Yes?
Just because I get to cook all 4 categories. Yeah. Got to.
That seems to be... So cooking 4 seems to be losing favor amongst the general population. Doing one, like KCBS came out with the single meat competitions. Of course, Rib Alliance, if that's what it's called. I apologize if I'm missaying the rib, whatever it is, but the Rib Competition Alliance. Obviously, that's only ribs. That seemed to be doing very popular, especially last year. I think they had their national championship toward the end of the year last year. What do you think about SCA? Is that falling off a little bit, or is there still some heat there?
There's still some heat there. There's still a lot of people into it, man. There's, what I liked about them were they were 1-day events. And I think that's why the single category stuff is popular with people, because of the cost of investment and the cost of time. Like, KCBS, you're going to spend a weekend doing it. And then that doesn't even lead up to the prep and everything you got to do before it. So there's a lot more work to me that goes into a KCBS. But I enjoy the cooking, because I always cook with my brother, and then I always got to see my buddies, and we were hanging out, and there was a 2-day thing. We had a lot of fun. SCAs are quick, and I hadn't done one of the rib cook-offs yet, just a single rib cook-off. I've heard about them. They seem to be doing pretty well, but I think there's still some buzz going on the SCA for sure.
That guy from Mr. Brisket, his competition box seems to continue to build in interest and popularity. So you call, which is a company over in Cleveland Heights, more or less, and say, hey, I want the competition box. You get a certain number of already trimmed thighs, chicken thighs. You get ribs already done. You get a pork butt that's already parted out, and a brisket that's competition trimmed. Now, maybe you might further clean it up if you get it, but appears 90 to 95% of the work might be done, and there's some teams out there that are winning with it. I thought that might be something to get people, give them a little bit more time at home doing home things during the week, and instead of taking Wednesday, Thursday to prep all the meat before you leave to go somewhere Friday, and maybe you leave on Thursday. But that's something that I thought was unique to the industry.
I always thought that was a great idea back in the day. It would have saved me so much time sourcing everything in one place, and they trim it for you. It's ready to go. All you got to do is go cook. And I've heard good things about it. Mr. Brisket's been around a minute. I know he was just selling briskets, back years ago, but now just taking it to that next level, it's making it easy for the guy that just don't want to take the time to go source everything, trim everything, package it, and then bring it to a contest. It's a good idea. I don't know what the costs are. I'm sure it's not cheap.
Well, you're always paying for convenience, right?
Yep, that's right.
Short of RecTech giving you one, Would you ever buy a wood pellet fired griddle?
Yeah. I'm interested to see one. That's a pretty cool idea. I love my griddle. I'm a flat top guy.
Yeah.
So it's fun to cook on. And I think if the technology was there and it worked good, that would be the whole thing. I wouldn't have a problem buying one.
Here's my only concern. As I had mentioned last week, I don't know how many people are thinking about this that bought it. And I always forget what the name is. Smokestone, I think, is the name of that thing from Rectech. Cooking pellets. So let me preface this by saying maybe I'm wrong on this. And if I am, please forgive me. But I believe you probably want to use cooking grade wood pellets in order to fire this, although there's no holes in the steel or the griddle top or anything like that. It's just being fired by wood pellets. In that instance, I would at least want to read the directions or know maybe I can go buy home heating wood pellets and use. So now that 40-pound bag is like $4 at Menards, and it becomes way more cost approachable to fire it. But let's hold that off to the side in case I'm incorrect and thinking you might be able to use it. If you go to cooking pellets, now we're talking $1 a pound, and to keep that thing at 450 or 500 degrees open seems to become a lot more cost ineffective.
Yeah, I would think so. Propane would still probably be your better choice from a wallet standpoint, what it's going to cost you. I don't know if you're going to get any of the flavor from it or not, because it's not like you're relying on that to cook the meat that you're cooking on. You're just using it to heat up the steel or, whatever the surface is made out of. So I don't know. That's a good reason to look at them right there, especially if you could get by with that cheaper fuel option, because I could see that being effective.
Yeah, I use that in my timber stove wood pellet heater. I buy those just home heating pellets, and they're super cheap. They burn pretty well, and I don't think twice about just dumping every couple hours another 4 or 5 pounds or whatever it is into the hopper. That thing works great, by the way. If you're looking for a not home but outside heating alternative to the liquid propane heat umbrellas, I call them, Tyson Traeger, believe it or not, is his last name, and he makes a great wood pellet outdoor heater that is just incredible, especially when the wind isn't blowing. When the wind blows, all heaters suck outside, but of course we all know that. Holding the Weber kettle aside, Malcolm, what would be your next go-to cooker if you were just getting into live fire?
Wow, you always go to Weber, so you
of
knew
course.
what I was going to say. You knew.
That's an easy answer.
Oh, man. I'd probably go with the drum, just getting into it. So it could be a pit barrel, it could be a gateway, it could be a homemade, whatever you like. I really love the flavor you get from them, and you do have to learn to build that fire and manage it in that thing. So, you're actually learning something too, but it's really fuel efficient. You don't use a ton of, charcoal in them or wood either. And the flavor that you get on the meat's phenomenal. I mean, once you learn how to run the thing, man, it's fantastic. So I'd probably pick a drum.
Here's a question to Malcolm Reed. True or false, Gateway drum smokers sold to Smokin' Brothers recently?
I heard a rumor. I don't know how true it is or not, but I heard that rumor for sure.
True.
After the Smokin' Brothers contest.
Yeah, 100% true, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I can't believe.
Well, I heard that Tim was there at the Smokin' Brothers contest thing. The rumor got kind of circulated a little bit, and it got back to me, and so yeah.
Yeah, a little business was done there. So happy for Tim getting out of that portion of the business if he wasn't into it. I thought I didn't even think about barrels, to be honest. I was thinking biting the bullet and getting a ceramic cooker. Now, I'm partial to the Primo, of course. I know you're partial to Primo as well. Love the shape. But I'm thinking just getting into it, why not jump in with both feet? Talk about fuel efficient. Primo, or any ceramic for that matter, is probably twice as efficient as any barrel cooker is going to be because of the material it's made out of. And then I call it the two cookers in one. Now, certainly you could say the Weber kettle is multiple cookers in one. A ceramic cooker, definitely multiple cookers in one. You can obviously achieve low and slow temperature with relative ease. And then you can obviously open up top and bottom vents and get that thing 700 degrees plus. And now you're doing all kinds of high heat grilling. You're doing pizza oven stuff if you want to do it. So for the price tag that might make most men pass out up front, you do have something that's going to last a long time and allows you a lot of versatility when you buy it.
Yeah, and that was like when you said just getting into, that's kind of what I was thinking budget in mind. Because the average guy is probably not going to drop that $1,000 or a little more to buy that XL. But I have found myself, like, you've probably seen it in some of my videos, why you think I'm cooking. I mean, I've got a little deal with Primo. They sponsor our podcast and stuff, and they gave me that XL, and they brought me one of the big ones. But I find myself going to that XL probably more than anything just because I like the way it cooks, man. Yep. It's perfect for me. The two-zone setup on it, I mean, like you said, I can smoke off to the side, keep those temps low. If I want to rip it, sear something, it's there. And it's just easy. The heat control's great. And, man, I've kind of fell in love with that oval design.
What I have found crazy, especially on the longer cook, so, rib cook or longer, the environment inside the Primo, and maybe it's just the ceramics. I haven't really had any other dealings with any other ceramic cookers. But what I noticed, especially on the ribs, if I was going to go out and spray like I would do every hour on a pellet cooker, for instance, there's no need for spray. That environment inside the Primo is as humid as it gets.
I think it's holding the moisture in is what it is. Like you think that a pellet grill, for instance, is moving so much air in it that it just wants to dry. It wants to dehydrate the tops of stuff. And it's just the nature of a pellet grill. Well, that Primo is really fighting to hold the heat down the whole time. So you're getting that humid environment in there, and so you don't have to. And I found you don't have to use as much wood for smoke flavor either. It does a fantastic job putting the right amount of smoke on it at low temps.
Have you eaten all the bison meat yet?
No, and I still got to send you some, man. I apologize, Greg. I'm horrible. I'm horrible.
Yeah, what the hell? Come on, how can we talk about it when
I'm
I can't
getting
eat
you.
it?
It may come in a HelloFresh box, but it's going to come from me, and it's
yeah. I'll keep an eye
it's
out.
It's going to be bison that I took from North Dakota. I'm going to send you some, man. I know exactly. I've got it in my freezer here at the office. I just got to get it in the mail to you. So I'm making that happen. I'm putting that on my to-do list. So
How much is left over?
Oh man, we still got a ton. And I've cooked so once a month I go to a wild game dinner, and it's this group of guys I hang out with. And so we did 30 pounds of ground and 20 pounds of ossobuco last night for that dinner. And there was like 50 of us there, and we did, and so we have a chef comes in that prepares it and everything. And we just get to enjoy it as long as we provide the protein. So I brought the bison, and I still have, I don't know how much, man. It's a freezer full. I mean, it was a freezer full of meat. So I've got enough to last.
Hundreds of pounds left?
Oh yeah. Easy.
Wow.
Hundreds. Yeah. Of ground. It's mainly ground, but the ground, you're going to be impressed by it, man. The ground is juicy. It's not fatty at all. It doesn't, it's not a real fatty meat. It's lean, but it still has a lot of moisture in it. It's really, really good.
Hot topic that I'm seeing around social media lately, and it doesn't seem to discriminate between barbecue or fine dining or whatever, is tipping. Like what you would give to a waiter or waitress or different scenarios you're being asked. What's your take on tipping if you're sitting down at a restaurant?
I did that, so I know what it's like to work for tips. So I heavily believe in it. I know those people aren't paid a fair wage at most places. If all of a sudden when you're a tipped employee, they don't have to pay you minimum wage. They have to pay you the tipped rate. And so those people that are doing those jobs depend on it. And I'm all for it, man. I always tip a standard tip, and then if the service goes above what I think's above and beyond, I add a little more. I don't mind doing that. I think, I think you pay for the service.
If a bellhop is running bags to your hotel room, how much do you tip?
$2 a bag.
$2 a bag. That's correct.
Yeah, I did that too. I did that. You probably didn't know that. I did that for about 4 years when I was in college.
The only thing I remember about Malcolm growing up is that he was once in a Pizza Hut. They closed it down and did WWF wrestling in the Pizza. That's like one of my favorite things I've ever come to know about Malcolm Reed. Do you tip anywhere?
I'll say this:
the
bellhop is probably one of the best jobs I have ever had. You talk about meeting people and being the connection. Everybody likes the bellman. You know what's going on everywhere. So if you need something, just talk.
And meet anybody famous?
Oh yeah. So I worked at 2 casinos in Tunica, Mississippi, and they had shows. So we did all of the stars that came and played at the casinos. So I got to meet a ton of them.
Do you tip anywhere?
Got to meet Evander Holyfield.
Before, wait. Let's back up.
Yeah, Sonic. How about Sonic? I always tip the car hop at Sonic.
You met Evander Holyfield. Was this pre or post ear bite?
I think it was right at, because did he bite the ear in Memphis? I can't remember. It's been a long time ago.
Yeah,
but it was one of their big fights where they were staying. They fought at the Pyramid in Memphis, and Evander's camp was staying at the Samstown where I was working.
So you're a pretty down to earth guy that you remember?
They real down to earth, really cool. So talked to us. I mean, he didn't. I mean, I wouldn't say he hung out down in the lobby of the hotel. The LT did. I saw LT get down on his hands and knees and beg a woman to go to dinner with him one night right in front of him.
Yeah, I was gonna say you saw him get on his hands and knees and then do a rail off the floor. Of course.
Yeah, I think it was in those days.
Oh yeah, I bet it was. So I didn't know where we were going to be going with that. All right, let's go back to my other question here. Do you tip anywhere that you don't sit down at?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I tip a couple bucks at Sonic to the car hop that brings out your fast food. I don't know, man. It's, to me, if I got a few bucks on me, I'll tip. I know what it's like. I know what that means to somebody that's actually working for a tip. I mean, if it can make somebody's day better, and it's not taxing me, I think I know what it's like. I know what it's like to appreciate that, that cash you're bringing home at the end of the day.
True or false? Hot honey is the most important condiment to have become available on the market in the last 10 years.
No, it's not the most important, but it's all right.
It seems to be very popular the last couple of years, finding its way onto everything as the topping that is going to separate whatever your signature dish is from everybody else.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen it a lot. I started using it. I think it's the Mike's Hot Honey that showed up in our grocery stores.
Yeah, and
it's pretty good. I mean, could you achieve that with regular honey and spicing it up? Yeah, probably. But it's not bad.
Can hot honey be overused, both from an on-food application, but also just as a use case scenario? I
think so. Yeah. I think it's you were talking about trends earlier. It's one of those that's kind of trending, and is it going to stick around? I doubt it. I mean, it'll probably run its course.
Would you rather have it on your fried chicken or your pepperoni pizza?
I had never had it on either one of those, so I'd probably go fried chicken, maybe.
Oh, Malcolm, where are you living? Under a rock? I mean, it's all over pizza everywhere. Yeah. You can't go to any pizza place without finding Mike's Hot Honey on the top of at least half the pies available. And KFC's putting Mike's Hot Honey on some chicken. Maybe it's Popeyes. I'm seeing the commercial all over the place, but you just can't get away from it. It seems like this is the hot condiment. Yeah,
it was sriracha sauce. Was it kind of like that? It run its fad too, so you don't see it as much anymore.
Yeah, I almost feel like that one has grown into whatever its life is now going to be post-popular. It's probably in a lot of people's spice cabinet or condiment cabinet. I don't know how often they're reaching for it like they did 10 years ago, but I think it has found its rightful place amongst ketchups and mustards and stuff like that.
Yeah, the one I don't think ranch dressing's going anywhere. I think it's stuck. Everybody likes ranch.
Not everybody.
Not everybody.
I did like ranch when I was 7, and then my palate expanded, and blue cheese became
Yeah.
A little bit more on par for me. Of course, blue cheese only with buffalo wings. Do we agree on that?
Yeah, I mean, I could do it on a little charcuterie board with the meats and stuff. Just a little, not a little bit. It's potent, but Rochelle's got me on the blue cheese stuffed olives, doing like a
delicious
dirty martini with it. Yeah,
now
so it works there too.
We've broached a whole different subject here. When we use the term martini, we should only be talking about gin. Yes?
Oh,
no?
I'm a vodka martini man. Yeah.
Martini's only made with gin. Remember that, Malcolm, and you'll get far in this life.
Okay.
Do you not like gin? Does that make you go like crazy
No,
if
I
you
do.
drink it? Yeah.
No, gin's cool. Gin's okay. I just, I'm kind of partial to vodka too.
Yeah, no doubt. Malcolm, what else do you have going on before I let you go? And I appreciate the extended time tonight.
Oh yeah, man. No, we're just gearing up for spring and content on our end. I've got to judge a little contest here locally this weekend. That's what I'm going to be doing. It's like it's like a local waste pro management people have their district contest in South Haven. That's the town I'm originally from.
Mm-hmm.
I got asked to come back to run up there and judge it for them, and then they're doing their national contest, I think, in Nashville. I'm not going to make that one, but we've got that going on, and just business as usual, man. Getting ready for springtime. Here we are in March.
No doubt.
Years rolling by. So as you always say, it'll be, Thanksgiving, end of the year before we know it. So.
No doubt. Malcolm Reed is right here. You can find him first Tuesday of the month, 14 past the first hour, and you found him all hour here in March, which we certainly appreciate. Malcolm, always appreciate the time, and we'll see you in April.
See you in April, Greg. Have a good one, man.
Take care. Malcolm Reed right there. Class act, star, and content provider extraordinaire, weighing in on any and all topics, which I certainly appreciate. And I agree with so to me, we're going to compare sriracha and hot honey, where we talked about sriracha now having a defined place in the pantry somewhere. I could easily see hot honey going away. Gone. Do I have a bottle of Mike's Hot Honey? Yes. Have I had a bottle of Mike's Hot Honey? Yes. That one is hot. Not ghost pepper jerky hot. Some of you might get that reference. But much sizably hotter, markedly hotter than the regular Mike's Hot Honey. So if you're somebody that likes a little face melting, Mike's Extra Hot Honey the one you want to check out. But I could see that just going away completely and honey reemerging as the only honey. Just honey. All right, let's wrap up the first hour. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Continuing to produce incredibly mediocre content in an exceptionally professional way. You're listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
And we thank Malcolm Reed for joining us for not one, but two segments. HowToBBQRight.com, his website, which you can also link over and subscribe to his YouTube channel if you're not, but 1.82 million of you are. Also, KillerHogs.com, if you want to check out what he's up to on a competition side of things. HowToBBQ Right on all social media. Malcolm, widely considered to have some of the best rubs on the market, sauces. We just tried his sugar-free sauce. Army Steve and I tried his sugar-free sauce the other day. We were highly impressed. Next up, the Smoke Shop's mustard-based sauce and the Sweet Victory sauce. So look forward to that. Anyway, we are pointing to the second hour. If you're just joining us and you missed two segments with Malcolm Reed, this will be on podcast tomorrow on Wednesday. And you will find Thursday's podcast for hour number 2. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that here in a few moments. Be sure to head on over to the YouTube channel where you can participate in the YouTube poll question of the week. We'll talk about that as well and give you some updates. You're listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show right here on the Barbecue Central Network. Stick around. We'll be right back.
This is Michigan Embedded Correspondent John Solberg, and you are listening to the Barbecue Central Show.
Happy to have you aboard here for the really big barbecue show.
We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Hit me!
Fine, how's it going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan.
Boing.
So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle. Charbono! It's all about the charbono, dude!
Succulent fish. What?
He ate 2 feet or wiener.
But listen, Lavernius, shut your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
And just like that, we are into the second hour. It's the Barbecue Central Show. We only talk about the most important things that are happening in the world of live fire cooking. The show originating from
Palm City, USA, Cleveland.
Still to come on this show this evening, our pal Sam the Cooking Guy in about 13 minutes from now. We say good evening to those of you watching tonight through one of our video streaming platforms. You can go to facebook.com/BBQ Central Show or head over to the Twitter, which is twitter.com/BBQ Central Show. You can also watch on YouTube, where you can answer a YouTube poll question of the week that we'll dig to here in just 1 second. The YouTube address, youtube.com/@BBQ Central Show. We do have a YouTube poll question of the week, and we're asking everybody this, including all guests: washing any kind of meat is a learned behavior, and currently 90% of you are saying yes. 10% of you are saying no. So where did you figure out you should do that? 10% of you, you're in the instant chat on Facebook, hopefully. Where did you come to find out that you should rinse your protein of any sort? That's really the question. By the way, I didn't have my Zoom manager up during the Malcolm Reed interview, so as I was telling you that you could jump in and connect to try and ask a question, if you did, I couldn't see you. There is a Zoom call-in link on the YouTube chat board that is pinned to the top, so if you want to jump in with a hot take, no pun intended, or you would like to weigh in on a past show or past guest or ask me a question, whatever, you can go ahead and try and take advantage of that. Should be pretty easy to connect into. And now that I have it up on my screen here, I will be able to see it and potentially let you in. Sam the Cooking Guy coming up here in about 10 minutes from now. And coming up on the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less this coming Friday, we have an episode number 373. We're taking you back to February 23rd of 2016, and this could be billed as a back-to-back of sorts. This was the same show that produced the Jim Berg of Killer Bees episode from last week. Also produces this segment that you will be hearing this coming Friday with what some consider to be the best competition cook of all time, the best to have ever lit a fire and then put it out at the end of a competition weekend, that being Darren Worth from Smokey D's Barbecue out there in Iowa. In this particular segment, Darren breaks down his entire brisket program for you, the listener. Seems outrageous, seems shocking that Darren would avail himself to do this, except it happened under normal conversation, or it happened within the confines of a normal conversation. Darren has also said on many occasions, especially on this show, that while he isn't someone that does classes like many of the other cooks have done over the many years that the show has been around, in order for them to not only share their knowledge, but to generate a little revenue as well off the heels of their success, because, of course, everybody wants to copy what's winning, or at least back in the old days, everybody wanted to copy what was winning, so a team could win once or multiple times in a row. Next thing you know, they're hitting the competition cooking school trail and generating thousands and thousands of dollars off of entry fee or class fees in order for them to spill their guts. Darren very open to sharing his process and has said many times, all you have to do is see him at a contest, strike up a conversation, and then start asking questions. So I did. And so Darren shared. And it's almost 10 years old at this point. If you have no idea how to cook a brisket, I would venture to say that you should go back and not only listen to the show that's happening this coming Friday, but then punch into the whole show link to get the entire info set from Darren, because it's all there. Barbecue Hall of Famer, has won every major barbecue championship, holding Memphis and May off to the side. And then if he has Darren, he says that one doesn't even matter. He implied a couple of years ago that maybe it's fixed to a certain degree. I did ask him just recently if he was making a run or honing his skills to finally lasso and wrangle that bad boy in, but he said he was just working on his tan. He was not working on anything related to Memphis and May. I would really like to see, I mean, maybe he doesn't care, obviously, but maybe I would really like to see him somehow manage a Memphis and May win. And then I think he's pretty much checked everything off the list at that point. He's a Houston winner. He's a Jack winner. He's American Royal winner. He's a... He's not a KCBS Team of the Year winner. Close a few years, but always backed off right at the end. Never seemed to be interested in chasing the points. Maybe couldn't win enough points in order to do it, so why bother wasting money if you can't end up winning it at the end? Although 2009, which is 16 years ago, a prolific end to a competition season that idiots like me still remember, between a Pellet Envy and I Smell Smoke and an Iowa Smoky D's, if you remember any of those names from back in the day. Don't forget, you can subscribe to not only this show, but the Best Moments show by visiting the subscription page of the website, which is thebbqcentralshow.com/subscribe, and you have all your options from there. If you don't have a podcast app, you can actually subscribe to the show through email. So it will show up every time the feed updates. It will show you an email. How about that? How about that? Don't forget, if you want to hear a guest or segment again that has been lost in the archives, email John. Let him know what you would like to hear. Put him to task. Take him to task, if you will. Jon, John, Jon, at thebbqcentralshow.com. And he will do his best to meet your expectation. Jimmy Shotwell is in the instant chat. I mentioned Darren Worth perhaps intimating that Memphis and May might be rigged. So not a winner from an event since 1977. Nope, it's definitely not rigged. Jimmy Shotwell, right? I think that's it. Oh, no. I do have... Well, now here's this. I have a few moments I can share this story. It has nothing to do with barbecue or grilling. But it has something to do with famous people, and it has something to do with those of you who are fathers of daughters out there. My oldest daughter, Bobby, you would know her as a level 1 trauma nurse at the Presby in downtown Pittsburgh. She's finishing a first year of what is a 2-year contract for her. And they were down in Savannah since last Friday, Savannah, Georgia, for one of her pals' bachelorette parties. And they were having a dinner, I think it was Saturday night. They're at a pizza restaurant or Italian restaurant, sitting out front, outside, because it's nice there, not 30 degrees or 20 degrees like it is here in Cleveland. And they thought they were in front of what was a big restaurant, the same thing. But at some point outside, separated into two different facilities. They couldn't see in, but there seemed to be a lot of carousing going on, piquing their interest. And then at some point, some older man, I don't know what that means, being a 50-year-old, that could be somebody my age, saunters out and says, "Hey, ladies, any of you like to come on in and take part in the bachelor party for Josh Allen. You know Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills. Look, I know who that is. If I'm getting asked to go in there, well, first of all, they're not asking me, because I'm a man. But my daughter, Bobby, also Maddie, all three of them seem to have almost not an unhealthy fear, but sweeping fear that at any moment they're going to get kidnapped and put into the sex trafficking trade. And they voiced their concern about it almost ad nauseum. And then, wouldn't you know, a almost 24-year-old Bobby Rempe, along with friends, let's say 4 of them or 5 of them, 6 total, I don't know, however the hell many of them were, are out in front of this. Guy they don't know says, hey, would you like to come in and hang out with Josh Allen and his pals? Because it's Josh Allen's bachelor party. He's getting married to some celebrity lady, I don't know. Without batting an eyelash, whoop, 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 like Three Stooges. Whoop, 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 right into the building they go. And I stop her. I said, Bobby, allow me to interrupt just for a moment. You are somebody who has expressed, as well as your sisters, a number of times over a number of years that you are legitimately worried that you're going to get kidnapped and human trafficked. And some guy comes out of a building you can't see into and says, hey, do you want to come in and hang out with XYZ celebrity that you cannot confirm is in there, and you pile in? Don't you think that was probably an opportunity to then get human trafficked like immediately, and you just pile right in? Don't ever talk to me again about how you're worried that at some point somebody's going to be trying to kidnap you because you voluntarily walked in to a scenario that could have not only had you trafficked, but anybody that decided to pile into that room with you. The door could have closed. Nobody could see in or out of that place. Everybody could have overpowered you, drugged you. You'd be halfway to Panama right now if that's where they traffic people. So don't blindly throw around your concern anymore about being trafficked, because you voluntarily put yourself in a position to get trafficked very easily, and you didn't even seem to think about it. So, memo to you fathers out there. For as much as you try and protect these women, they don't give a shit. The first sign at any type of celebrity, or you get to hang out with a celebrity, or I don't now have to pay for anything for the rest of the evening. Any jealousy on my part? Yes. Outside of that, you got to make sure these women are taking into account everything, all scenarios, no matter how great it sounds. You can't put eyeballs. Trust but verify. Got to do it. Otherwise, you're in for a world of hurt. And that's just my 2 cents, because I am a father of 3 daughters. You turds. The good news is Josh Allen appears to be a good human. So does star quarterback Sam Darnold, who was also at the bachelor party, and the Buffalo Bills starting tight end, something Kincaid, a number of other secondary string football players, and other such nonsense. Nothing weird happened. I said, Bobby, if your boyfriend Quentin was at the same restaurant and the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders were in that room instead of football players, and he called you up and said, hey, FYI, I'm about ready to go hang out with the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, is he getting the pass to do that? I think probably not. Easy to say yes, because that is probably never happening. But I'm wondering if the shoe was on the other foot. Hey, Sam, the cooking guy is in the green room. That's good news. Also, the good news, I did talk to Sterling Big Papa Ball the other day, and he is doing very well, so we'd love to hear that. Not walking yet, but feverishly trying to get there, hopefully within the next handful of months. Celebrate Big Papa Smoker's 15th anniversary with the Ultimate Barbecue Essential. From award-winning rubs and sauces to premium grills and smokers, Big Papa Smokers has everything the barbecue lover in your life needs. Discover Pitmaster favorites like Sweet Money, Double Secret, Cash Cow, Competition Brisket, all the good stuff. Bacon jalapeno. How about Desert Gold on your vegetables? Delicious. For a limited time, use promo code REMPY15 at checkout. Get 15% off your purchase. Some exclusions apply. Visit BigPapaSmokers.com for all the deets. Big Papa Smokers, where your food just got better. REMPY15 at checkout to get 15% off your purchase. We are back with Sam, the cooking guy, right after this. Stick around. I'll be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show.
Hey, this portion of the show being brought to you by McAuliffe Cigars. Step into the world of McAuliffe Cigars, where each blend is a chapter in a grand tale of craftsmanship and passion. The portfolio is a symphony of flavors, each note carefully composed to create an unforgettable Nicaraguan smoking experience. Color series continues to be a strong favorite of mine. The black, number 1. Red, a close number 2. Blue, number 3. New colors coming this year at TPA, so stay tuned for that. Joining me in the second hour, somebody you might have seen in the show just this past Tuesday, sitting in for John Solberg during the Embedded Correspondents, a YouTube maven and a pal o' mine, Sam, the cooking guy. Hey, Sammy.
I'm having deja vu right now, my
We
friend.
are back to back, and we are 4 less or
Love
3
it. And
less
by the way,
cohorts.
let's just tell the audience that
Yes.
you texted me. We chat regularly.
Yeah.
Between my appearances on the show.
Yeah.
And you said, are you up for being in next week? Something like that.
Yeah.
And I said, of course. I committed. I'm one of those guys. I'm not. Who do you think I am? A meathead? I'm going to fucking fall asleep and not show up? That's not going to happen.
Never. No.
By the way, I throw him under the bus, but I adore Meathead's appearances, and especially like it when he sleeps and whatever. It's all good. But let me just say something about cigars, because I'm not a cigar guy.
All right.
But when I have one in an enjoyable moment, I'm on a deck, a veranda, there's a lake, there's relaxing time, there's nothing going on in my life. When I have one, I say to myself, why am I not a cigar guy more often?
You can. So what I've come to learn about cigars, because I'm going, I think in August is my 4th year of smoking cigars. And the first 2 or 3 times, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to cut the cap off. I didn't know how to properly do. No. I was pretty good the first time.
I don't believe that. Nobody is any good the first time.
Well, just ask my right hand. It tells no lies. No lies. So after the 3rd time, I said, geez, this is terrible on all accounts. It's not enjoyable, and it tastes bad, and it smells bad. How can somebody really like this? So I YouTubed it and realized quickly, well, people could probably enjoy it if they did it right from the beginning instead of destroying it right from the beginning like I did. And then I learned and I started doing my deep dives, because when I get into things, now I have to become a master, and it's now.
So wait, why don't you guys do a short video, a master class on how to enjoy a cigar your first time? Because I mean, there's
I feel
things you
there's
need to
got to be
understand.
15,000 of those videos laying around
Yeah,
YouTube
but you know what?
already.
But yes, but here's the difference. It's you and people that watch this channel, like you, trust you, believe in the things that you say. I think that I would rather listen to something like that from you than a stranger. Come on,
All right.
man, do it.
I like that.
It's not a
Easy to do.
terrible idea.
Not a heavy lift. Not a heavy lift. Something I like to do.
Right,
Yep,
right.
no doubt
right,
about
right,
it. Yeah, I find cigars to be highly enjoyable. I do find that if I enjoy something, I cannot assume that somebody else is going to like what I like, because perhaps unlike any other product of consumption, palate on cigars is so personal. And what I might find to be, I have experts in the industry telling me that this cigar that I'm smoking has the strength of 7 or 8 out of 10. And I'm
look,
like, I don't even feel that at all.
But Greggy boy, that's life.
Yeah.
Just because I like something doesn't mean somebody else will. Right?
Undoubtedly.
Here's what I've learned. It's what you like that really matters, and that's all that matters.
Right.
You know?
I say
what
this.
do I care about what somebody else thinks?
When I was really into wine, or wanted to learn then everything I could know about wine. That was the time Gary Vaynerchuk was doing Wine Library TV. And he would give all these crazy flavor profiles. It's like licking a rock and then leather and then hitting German chocolate and blah, 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 and doing all this stuff to try and make you understand what the flavors are like or help you try and find them. But in the end, he was always like, trust your pal, which meant trust your palate. Because if it tastes good to you, it doesn't matter what I think or what rating I give it or how much the bottle of wine is. If it's $3 and you think it's magical, then that's what you should be buying.
Look, who are we? Who am I? Who are you? Who are we to piss on somebody because they like something that we don't particularly like? It's not the right thing to do. Look, I've said this before. The older I get, the more I'm understanding of how people are, of what people like. And it only matters what's good for you, what works for you. I don't care. If you want to eat, Hormel chili out of a can, which, by the way, I'm a fan of.
Cold?
No beans. No, cold. No.
Out of a can.
Jesus. Just because Cleveland is cold most of the year doesn't mean you need to eat your food cold.
You said out of a can.
I didn't say out of a can cold. I said out of a can. And I it meant into a... Oh, stop it.
Okay. I mean, I caught you, but okay.
Ask me your question. Here, I want to be asked the question tonight.
Do you heat it up or do you eat it out of the can?
Don't fucking eat it out of a can. That's an animal thing. But come on, don't do that. Do you?
YouTube poll question of the week. I forgot to ask you
That's
this.
what I'm asking for.
We kind of already addressed this last week, but I was taken aback by one of Rusty's comments. Washing any kind of meat is a learned behavior. Yes or no?
Yes.
91% are saying yes as well.
It's a fucked learned behavior, but it's learned behavior.
I was shocked, perhaps appalled, that our pal Rusty Monson, during the Embedded Correspondents, thought that it was a fad and that the rinsing of chicken and beef or meat or protein was going to go away.
No, there's no way.
Poor man. He's so busy, he doesn't realize how kooky he sounds.
Poor man. He's so busy getting into the brick and mortar real estate restaurant business. I hope it doesn't come back to bite him in the ass.
How quickly can we talk him out of that, Sam? Can I give you his personal number? Can we call him on the air?
I would do it right now. I would do, dude, please. You know what's interesting? I was thinking about this today as I was thinking about the restaurant business that I used to be in. You know, when you see people on Shark Tank, do you watch Shark Tank?
Sure, business.
Lot of lessons to be learned from Shark Tank. Life lessons, any lessons. People come on and they go, I have this product and we sell it in this pop-up, this truck, this trailer, whatever it is. and the sharks go, what do you want to do? And they go, we want to open up 14 restaurants in the next 6 months. And the sharks go, wait, what the hell is that? Why would you do that? You're already successful. Keep doing that. Don't go into the most difficult don't go into the most difficult business in the world.
Yeah. People are fascinated with getting a restaurant. Like they think that restaurant equals rich.
It does not. It equals aggravation.
Misery.
Oh, terrible.
I remember Michael Simon telling me in the first podcast I ever did with him many, many years ago now that you're working 70, 80 hours a week. This is him talking when he was opening Lolita back in Hingetown. Yeah. He's like, Liz and I were working the restaurant 70, 80, 100 hours a week, and we're hoping we get 4% margin. Like, can you imagine putting in that kind of time for 4 to 5%?
No, but the crazy thing is there's something so physically rewarding about a restaurant when it works well.
Yeah.
I can't think of it. I can't think of an analogy that's not sexual to give you the two opposites of this, but and I'm not going to do it. But at its best, it's amazing. It's great. It's euphoric. At its worst, it's just the most terrible thing ever.
Yeah.
And most of the time, it leans towards the terrible side.
There's not
the
a
dollars,
lot of
the margins, the employee. Listen, any business that has a ton of employees is a difficult fucking business. There's no question.
It doesn't seem that there's longevity there either. Like how many? There seems to be far fewer restaurants that have been around 20 plus years than the restaurants that have started and have caved within 5.
I'll give you one. In Vancouver, Canada, where I'm from, there's a restaurant called Kobe Japanese Steakhouse. It's my wife's family's restaurant. Her father started it 50 years ago.
No way.
And every year they make more money. They're busier than ever.
Why?
It is an absolute anomaly. It's a great experience. It's essentially like a Benihana, right? So you get the teppanyaki cooking at the table, that kind of thing. But unlike Benihana, it's good. I don't like Benihana. The sauces suck. The food sucks. This is really good. And every time you walk out, you're like, holy shit, that was fabulous. But every year it gets more expensive. Every year, more customers. Every year, more people come. It's the craziest thing. At some point, it has to end, but they've been so successful.
Do they upgrade their, what do you call them, teppanyanis or whatever?
Yes, teppanyaki tables. The tables where the chefs cook on.
Yeah. Do they upgrade the chefs? Like, do they say, hey, you're not making the cut anymore, Slim?
No,
get out. We got somebody else coming in.
Yes. Do you say Slim? Slim?
Yeah, Slim.
Slim, get out, Slim. You're not making the cut anymore. Yeah. Yes, of course. But like any restaurant, any business, you have to get rid of the ones that don't make the cut. But they upgrade the the menu, the equipment, everything. They've done a really good job. But that's an anomaly. There's not many restaurants that continue year after year after year like that.
This is Kelly's parents' business?
Yes. Kelly's dad started a Japanese teppanyaki restaurant 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's still...
No.
So it's like the family owns it now, or where's the ownership?
No, one of the sons runs it and with his son.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a generational restaurant. It's amazing.
So
come to Vancouver. I got you covered. You have the best time. You don't leave the country. I forgot. You don't leave the country.
Oh, wrong.
Once.
I'm going to the Bahamas again in June, smart ass.
Same place?
Of course. It was magical.
You had such a... I'd love to hear that.
Yeah. I didn't say I had a bad time. I had a great time. It was wonderful.
No, I didn't say bad time. I said you had a great time.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking you had such a great time. You only go back if you have a good time.
I'm going out of the country next week.
Where?
Orlando, Florida.
That's... Okay, I like your point.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's going to be great. Yeah. Going with all the gals and all the gals' boyfriends.
Mm.
How about this?
Listen, I heard your little rant at the beginning.
You did?
Yes.
About what?
You need to be like any fathers of daughters that are out there. Listen to what you said.
Are you talking about the sex trafficking thing?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Can you imagine how reckless she was? Just trotted right in.
I'd call it stupid.
Of course. Like you can't scream, "I'm scared," all the time somebody's going to take me, and then trot your happy ass into a room you can't see in from some old guy soliciting you. Like
that's the way.
What are we doing? This isn't a well thought out recipe. This is how terrible things happen.
You know what that is? That's the 20-something version of us getting the shit from Nigerian princes on the internet. you know? Come on.
Yes.
Wake the F up, girl.
Good day, sir. I am here with greatest news.
Thank you.
Yeah. So why haven't you had Max and Chance mic up so we can hear them? Like,
you can ask this question every day. We talk about this.
But please, there was a video maybe 2 or 3 ago. There was extensive talking back and forth that you could not hear. And now I'm thinking to myself, well, certainly this is going to really strike a chord with him because there was so much talking going on that you couldn't understand.
Let me break this down for people that don't know who I am or what's going on here. Sam the Cooking Guy on YouTube is me in front of the camera, and behind the camera is Max and Chance. And sometimes they talk. A lot of the times they talk. And when they talk, it adds to the show. It makes it so much better. But they're not mic'd up. And you have a problem with that. There's times when I say, they edit, we shoot, they edit, they send it to me to watch it, and then I make my comments, say this should be longer, you missed this part, blah. And sometimes when I hear their comments, I go, you should CG this, Chiron graphic, put the words on the screen, because people need to understand what that is. And to your point, it would be better if people could always hear. And when I bring that up to them, they go, that's just a whole nother level of editing that's going to take what is ultimately like a 12 to 15 minute video and 8 or 10 hours of editing to much longer editing.
I mean, it's totally incorrect. And I'm not
you
speaking.
Don't do the work.
I'm not speaking out of school here. I know what I'm talking about. Okay. So you are mic'd up. They're shooting video. The only thing that is being added, they're not adding themselves on more video. They're not adding another camera shot.
No,
they're not doing any of that. They're just
my
show. I'm going to talk.
Jesus,
Please,
God.
1 minute. I hear a lot of talk, a lot of chatter back here. So they need to put on a microphone, and then whatever they're editing gets edited out immediately, just as it would if they were unmiked.
Oh.
Now, instead of doing the Chiron graphic bullshit, they just leave themselves talking that you can hear them enunciate the words, and that's it. Zero more work
please
added
do me a
to
favor.
their
Do
plate.
me a favor.
Yeah.
I isolate this conversation.
Yes.
Send it to me. I'll send it to them.
Fine.
I'll give you their email addresses.
I have Max's cell phone. I'll call him directly.
No. Forget him.
Oh,
he's too busy
fired.
with whatever his life is doing. Chance needs to know this. Both of them need to have this information.
Well, I don't.
Jeez,
so I'll have to send it to you. But I mean, there's no more work for them. It's
okay. I'm telling you, isolate this.
Yes, all right.
Send it. Maybe something will happen.
Also,
yes,
why haven't you
go
had
ahead.
those two stand up together in front of the camera so we can see if they're morphing into looking like each other?
They're not. I just had Chancey come up when we shot yesterday in front of the camera and have a conversation.
Let's talk about homemade SpaghettiOs.
Yeah.
Pretty inspiring.
Yes, thank you.
Fan suggestion or your recipe?
I I don't want to talk out of school.
Like, I don't know where you would come up. I'm not
remember.
saying that somebody recommended it, but I also
don't
think it was
remember.
inspiring that.
You think it's
that is
beyond my
something.
mind?
No,
you think it's
but
beyond my
no.
capability?
No, but I'm just saying.
I can't come up with homemade fucking SpaghettiOs.
No, I'm saying.
Wow.
I'm saying. Wow.
Is everybody in Cleveland a dick?
I'm saying.
Yeah, go ahead.
I thought it was
Suggest that
inspiring that you thought to do a homemade SpaghettiO. Like,
Well,
who
I can
even
tell you
thinks
this.
about SpaghettiO, number one, and then to think about it and go, well, I could obviously do better. That's the same.
I can tell
cooking
you
guy
this.
thing.
It was, it's back and forth between who suggests something, Max or me. He's younger. He's more in tune with our audience. So that's fine. He goes, you should make this. I go, great. I'll make it.
I disagree.
And I'll
with
make
that.
it. I'll make it.
Why, how can he be more in tune with your audience? It's your audience.
Because Max is 36.
Yes.
And our audience, the 75% of our audience is between 18 and like 40 or something. So he's right in there.
I think you know what the audience wants.
I don't
You're
know.
asking me.
I
You
don't
can
know.
isolate that too.
Listen,
And send
I've
it to
been on
him, Mr.
TV.
Too busy.
I've been doing this too long. I don't know if I know anything anymore. Really.
I think you know how to cook. Number one, that's kind of important.
I can do that. But I got that part down. But coming up with ideas, I say to Max all the time, I'm out. He goes, what should we? I go, I have no ideas anymore. I've been doing this for 25 years. I'm blank. So I do believe that the SpaghettiOs idea was mine. Where it came from, did I see? Every so often I'd go through like this old school thing. What did they used to make? What did I used to eat? That kind of thing. And I'm thinking it came from something like that. Anyway, it was fucking delicious, and you should make it.
Yeah.
Listen, I say this almost all the time. Don't eat the same thing all the time. Don't cook the same thing all the time. You know, we all get in this rut. Tuesday night is Aunt Ruth's meatloaf, and Wednesday is Grandma Jenny's chicken. You got to break that shit up, because that will just lead you to a life of fucking monotony. Get out of the rut, make something different. Try something that is absolutely out of your wheelhouse. If you're like New England, old school, clam chowder, fish fry, that kind of shit, whatever that is, go Asian. If you're an Asian file, that's the kind of food that you like, start making macaroni and cheese. Just do something different. It will break up your life, the monotony, make your food world way more exciting.
If I told you for the last 7 weeks, I have had the same thing.
Yes.
BLD. Would it make your mind want to explode?
No, it would make me want to kick you in the fucking nuts.
Why?
And have you
I like
stop
it.
That.
I'm not complaining.
Don't that's fine. I get you're not complaining, but my friend,
I don't have to think about.
I use that term as importantly as I can, because you're one of my closest friends.
Agreed.
Even though we've never actually met or hugged or shaken hands. I'm telling you, changing your food world up. You don't want to get to your last day on this planet, because we're all going to get there one day. Nobody's getting out of here alive.
I heard that.
You don't want to get there. You don't want to get there. You're second to last day on the planet, and try something different, not the BLD. You'll have something different, and you'll be like, oh shit, this is amazing. Why didn't I have this? You don't want that moment. You want to leave this planet having eaten as much as you can of everything that you can. That's my message to your viewers tonight.
Yeah.
Don't do what Greg does.
Yes, but so, I mean, in full disclosure, I am really trying to get to a certain aesthetic for our boyfriend male pose down in Florida next week.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Because this 50-year-old is going to show at least half those boyfriends that I'm in better shape and more shredded than they are. How about that?
Can I tell you something? I was 181 pounds. What a dick. 2 months ago.
Yeah.
2 months ago. And I made a couple changes.
Yeah.
I went to a mostly protein-based diet.
High protein.
See? And I ate in the morning and then not again till night. And then look, I'm now 171. I lost 10 pounds.
Wow.
And it's been 2 months. I've maintained it, but I lost it in it's been like 4.5 weeks.
Yeah.
You can do it. There's nothing missing in my life. I eat food. I don't eat a lot of carbs. I'm not eating a lot of bread and pizza and pasta and shit like that. But I'm okay with that. But I needed to I worked to get to a point where I was be okay for my son's wedding in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm like, I like me. I'm sticking with this.
So you're gonna stick with it, yeah. So I'm on,
and
I'm on the same like high protein routine.
Yep.
So get up, do the workout, and then before I go to work, 250 grams of non-fat yogurt, Greek yogurt, 100 grams of blueberries every morning, and then 60 grams of oatmeal for lunch. And then I have 18 ounces of pulled chicken for dinner, along with an avocado, about 110 grams, 2 slices of sourdough bread, and a salad as much as I want. And I'm good. And I've gone from 183 pounds to Saturday was 168.
Wow. Listen, I can't do the cold breakfast shit.
You don't like Greek
and
yogurt?
Berries and shit like that. I love Greek yogurt, but I'm not having that for when I wake up in the morning. I don't eat until about 11 o'clock. I'm good until then. But then I want something satisfying, fulfilling, and here's ready? Warm. I have vegetables sauteed in a pan with just a little oil, and then an egg and some cheese. And that's what I eat. And that makes me so happy. And that carries me through to dinner. Cold shit, yogurt, berries, that kind of bullshit. No, that's not doing anything for me.
You don't like berries?
They're okay, but that's not what I want to start my day with. I need to start the engine with something warm and to get the whole mechanism working.
I just need to onboard about 30 grams of protein to generate muscle synthesis.
You can do that with eggs and things like that. Eggs, and turkey, and steak in the pan. What do you mean non-fat?
Non-fat Greek yogurt just gives me protein.
That's fine. It's cold. It's not.
I like it.
It doesn't do anything for me. I want to enjoy my. Here, you're like my mother-in-law who's no longer here. I don't mean that you're no longer here. You're here.
Should I be offended?
Food to you is not necessarily exciting and enjoying.
Food is fuel.
Food to you is fuel. That's it. That's the problem. I want you to enjoy your food.
I do. I enjoy every ounce of it.
Not enough. No, cold yogurt.
I enjoy every gram of it.
Yeah, welcome to Russia. You're in a fucking gulag. It's 1962. Hey, what? Good morning, Greg. Here is your cold yogurt for the morning. This is all you have to eat today. That's not right. No, the body doesn't want that. The body wants something warm to get going.
I treated at lunch with 60 grams of oatmeal.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So good. So good.
Oliver.
Do you plan to make any changes to your live fire cooker setup this year?
I'm going to get rid of a lot of the shit that's there. If anybody wants anything, yes.
What are you getting rid of? Let's make a list.
Stuff.
Let's make a list of what we're getting rid of.
There's too much stuff.
You're going to sell it on Facebook Marketplace?
No, I would never sell it.
Never.
That would be because most of the stuff I haven't paid for, I could never sell it.
Bad karma.
What do I need?
I don't know.
I need a smoker.
Okay.
I have two big Traegers.
Yep.
I've got the Timberline and I've got the Ironwood, right? So you're gonna get rid of one of those.
They didn't send you the new
when I say
Woodwind or whatever the hell it is?
no, the Wedgwood. What's it called?
No, not something.
No, no, they didn't. But I think they kept that mostly in house. I didn't see too much of that online. Did you see much of that online?
Woodbridge?
Yes.
Woodbridge?
Did you see much of that online with other people?
No, it was. I mean, from a Traeger standpoint, I would say it was their most ineffectual launch.
Well, I'd say it was most in-house launch. They kept it close to the vest.
Okay, we can say it like that too. If you would
Look,
care.
we know how you feel about Traeger.
Nope.
Everybody
we don't know anything about it.
No, we do.
I
Everybody
like their
knows
products.
how you feel about
I've said
Traeger.
it many times. Big fan of the product.
Doug,
love it.
wait, excuse me. Let me talk to my
Doug's
buddy
not
Doug
here.
Scheiding.
Doug's not here. No, Doug.
No, I know he's not here. But Doug, we all know how Greg feels about Traeger.
Big fan of the products.
By the way, do you know when I'm going to see Doug next? You're not going to like this.
Next, he's just in the other room.
No, he's not. At the Traeger Summit.
Where is that?
It's in Utah.
In Utah? You're going to the Traeger Summit?
I've been invited to the Traeger Summit. What's the laugh? Why do you laugh? Why do you laugh? I'll report back from there. Doug and I will do a report.
I don't
How
even
about that? How
care.
about that? Yeah.
I don't even
You
want to
do
hear
care.
about it. I don't.
No, you do care. No, you do care.
Why would you go to that? What do you care?
Okay, well, I like the product. I'm not
Debatable.
saying that. They're not paying me to say that. I like the product. I'm a fan of Traegers.
Yeah, but I say that,
do
and they
that
definitely.
all you want.
But I say that, but they definitely don't pay me.
And they don't pay me to say that.
All right.
Look, the face.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. We have done Traeger integrations where they paid us to announce their new grills, their new smokers. And that's fine. That's completely legitimate. That's legitimate.
All right.
But they're not.
I'm just
paying me
saying
now
I'm a
to
fan
say
of their
that-
products.
Listen, when I'm at a cocktail party.
Yeah.
Cocktail party. Why did I say that? When I'm at a party, I don't go to cocktail parties. When I'm at a party and somebody goes, "Oh, you have all this shit, blah blah blah. What do you like?" And I go, "Oh, I like this. I like this. What should I get?" I go, "Well, you should get." When I'm telling somebody goes, "What do I need in my backyard?" Here's what I say. I go, "You should get something that you can cook with charcoal on." And that could be, a variety of things, straight charcoal. The gas grill thing you don't need, I don't think. But I do think that you should have a smoker of some kind. And when I say smoker, I think a pellet smoker like a Traeger is the ideal thing to have. They're plug and play. They're great to use.
Sure.
And I know you have other sponsors, and that's fine. And you shouldn't, pony up to say that the Traegers are good. And I know you have a thing about Traeger. You got like a thing in your ass. I'm not sure what it is, but there's something up there that pisses you off about Traeger. It's their size, their weight.
No less than 15 times in the last 7 minutes I have said, big fan of their products. I have the original Timberline 850.
Yes,
I use it routinely. Big
Good
fan.
for you, but
fan.
Doug Scheiding would agree with me that somehow you have an anti-hard-on for Traeger, and I'm not sure what caused it. What happened along the way? Maybe Jeremy said something to you, or
I
didn't
don't
show
know.
up on one of the.
Maybe.
What is it?
Maybe they decided that they were the ones that founded internet connection. Maybe they decided that they were going to sue and try and put somebody out of business and do all. Again, no problem with the products. Big problem.
I love you.
Big
God,
problem with
you.
how
I
they
love
run
you.
the business and how they choose to execute certain business processes at the expense of others when there was no need to do it because they did not invent internet connection or Wi-Fi connection.
How did that end up? I don't remember. Remind us all how did that end up?
Nobody could sue anybody anymore. That was it. Green Mountain Grills was found to be not infringing. Everybody was told stop suing each other, and that's it.
So
after
fine.
years and years. No, I mean, in the end, it doesn't mean that it's all fine, but
was that it?
There's
Is that the
certainly
thing
no
that,
more suing.
Is that the thing that you hated them over?
Yes.
Okay.
When you know you did not invent something, and then you say you did, and then you try and put somebody out of business that did invent it, then that's a problem to me.
Look, I am not defending them.
Yes,
but
obviously you are. You're telling me that I have an issue with Traeger and I have a bug up my ass. And
you do. Everybody knows you have a bug up your ass.
And it has been.
And that's one of the things I love about you, that you are honest about how you feel about companies. I love that.
It's been sparklingly clear over the years on how that
am
is.
Am I not saying this?
Just saying. I'm saying.
I believe you don't have to go. I'm saying because I'm saying it.
Now say it again.
Great.
Go ahead. Say Sam does not like Traeger. Say it.
Say what?
Nothing. So you're gonna go to Traeger Nation.
Yeah.
Traeger
why do you
Days?
make me feel like Why do you make me feel like a fucking traitor? Not Traeger, traitor.
I don't know.
You're making me feel like I'm a traitor.
You shouldn't go. I don't think you should go.
Because why?
Just stay. Let's.
Because.
How about if I come out?
I want to see what this is.
Nah, you don't like anybody over there.
You don't like. I love Doug Scheiding. Doug will be there.
You can fly to Texas. It'd be better.
He's the only one I'll know. I don't want to go to Texas.
It'll be warmer in Texas.
Listen, they don't like Jews in Texas. I'm not going to Texas.
Oh, in Texas?
No, they don't like Jews. I'm staying here. California, Jew friendly.
Pro-Jew.
Texas, not Jew friendly. I'm pretty certain.
Well,
okay, I'm joking. I don't want anybody jumping on my social media shit and saying that's not true.
Not being a Jew myself,
listen,
I would never question what states are pro or anti-Jew. I
don't want somebody going like this. Hey, listen, I'm a Jew and I live in Texas, and you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's right. I love it here. Yeah,
we love our Jews here.
We
love that little funny hat they wear.
They
love the bagels. I love your bagels.
Your bagels.
Peace, love, and bagels.
That's right.
Those bagels. You put some of our brisket in one of those bagels, we got you down. It's all good. Just don't be coming into our shops and stuff like that, because we
want your weird money.
Yeah.
How do you make a fluffy omelet souffle?
Oh my God, that thing was so fucking good.
I'm so jealous of that fluffy.
Well, you could make that. You saw me make it. Greg's talking about look, we'd love to, because I completely admit I'm out of ideas. We make things that other channels make, and we look for things that are a little bit bizarre. Yeah. We made a fluffy omelet, and when I say fluffy, I mean like it was like this.
Oh, it's huge, yeah.
This gorgeous. Wait, we just shot something the other day. Hold on, when is it going to air? Hold on.
Waffle House is jealous of how fluffy that
stand by, Matt.
I'm just filling. Time.
Okay, we're making a burger that will air tomorrow.
All right.
We did a thing from a place in Japan called Brisk Burger, and they make it like a smash patty burger, right? It's beautiful burger. Then they cut it in half, and then they take the cut sides face down on a flat griddle and get them all fucking charred up and shit.
Yep.
It just like makes it better. So we did one that will air tomorrow. Beautiful double smash patty with cheese. But then once it's made, you cut it in half and you take basically a fajita pan, get it to 8,000 degrees, pour cheese sauce on it. It bubbles like effing crazy. And then you take this burger, cut it in half, put it face down on the cheese sauce. It's insane. Effing sane. Yeah.
Can I use it on a griddle? Like, could I use a griddle in replacement of a fajita pan?
No, buddy.
No.
You need to contain that cheese sauce.
Oh.
You need a fajita pan.
Yeah.
You could use a cast iron pan. But whatever pan you use, you need to contain the cheese sauce. It's got to be on the heat. I put a what are those guns?
Infrared gun?
Measure heat? Infrared gun on it. It was like at 850 degrees.
Holy moly.
Before I put the cheese sauce on it, before I put the cut burger on. It's the most incredible, the smoking, it was fucking great.
And this is Cheese Whiz cheese sauce type stuff, or melted Velveeta, or what?
No, this is proper cheese. I used cream cheese, and I used 8 ounces of truffle white cheddar.
Oh, real cheese.
White cheddar.
Wow.
Because because
cheese is an orange.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Weird, right?
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, I got called out in New Zealand for that. Some lady in a store. She had a problem. We were shopping in a store in New Zealand, in a supermarket, on camera, and she's like something like, I can't do the New Zealand accent. It sounds like Australian, but
yeah.
She started yelling at me for something. I go, wait, I don't understand. She goes, we don't have orange cheese. I go, what? She goes, we don't have orange cheese. And I'm like, I don't know what she goes, cows don't give orange milk. And it was like, you are just need this. Oh my God, you're right. She was right.
Yeah.
I don't know where the orange comes from, but it's not coming from the cows.
Orange dye 87.
Why are we adding orange dye 87?
I don't know. I won't eat orange cheese. Well, unless it's American cheese, because I am a proud American. But outside of that, I'm not eating any orange cheese. I'll eat raw Parmesan Parmigiano Reggiano raw, but other than that, no. And I'll eat the rinds. Rinds are delicious.
Rinds are good. Put them in risotto, in a soup, whatever. They find their place there. But American cheese really is the best cheese for a burger.
Yeah, of course.
Especially
melts perfectly.
Burger.
So good.
Perfectly. Who cares what's in it? Shit.
Hey, look, Sam the Cooking Guy's here, and you should be subscribing to him. Almost 4 million YouTube subscribers as of 3/1/2025. He was at 3.79, inching closer to 4 million. If you would like to buy the best knives in your life that you don't have to spend a shitload of money on, you go to shopstcg.com. And you can get a chef's knife and get that big machete knife. And there's a paring knife. There's steak knives. I use the chef's knife, 8-inch chef's 8-inch? 10-inch? 8-inch chef's knife? The big one?
The chef's is 8. Did I send you the big one?
Well, I have the big statement, which is not a chef's knife. But then I have chef's knife.
10.5. Yeah, and you have the Nikiri. I think you have most of them.
Yeah, Nikiri. I got the offset bread.
Do you have the 5-inch Santoku?
Yes, 5-inch Santoku. But chef's knife is really my go-to knife. Love it in the hand.
You have the boner.
Got the boner. Use that a lot. Yeah, use that a lot.
Okay, you got the chef's knife. Okay,
I think I have pretty much the whole set.
Okay, yeah, you're there. Okay.
And the carving set too.
Oh,
I have that. Yeah, no doubt.
Wish I was you.
Big fan.
I wish I'd had all the knives.
I know somebody.
You got him.
Yeah. Got him and love him.
Hook me up.
Got him and love him.
Hook me up.
Head over to shopstcg.com to get those knives and all the associated gear. And in the meantime, we will see Sam in April. Sam, always appreciate the time.
You're the best, Greg. Thanks, man.
Take care. Back-to-back successful weeks for Sam the Cooking Guy, pulling a second hour as well, which I appreciate. By the way, little known fact that 10:35 p.m. Eastern tonight, we were supposed to see the Iron Chef himself and Cleveland's very own Michael Simon. That did not happen. Not going to get into why. He has been rescheduled for early May. I don't know if we'll have just missed the launch of the book or if it'll just be before the book is out, but Michael Simon will be in May. He was switching coasts, going from New York over to Los Angeles, which he is there now. But couldn't get him the product in time. He said he was available. I said, no, we're going to wait and rebook. And so we did. And so, unbeknownst to Sam the Cooking Guy, he pulls 2 segments. It was Malcolm. It was Sam. It's great. Better stop this before it ruins everything. And we will be back to wrap the show right after this. But before we do it, for 17 years, Green Mountain Grills has brought the smoke to the competition scene in backyards all over the world. Their Venturi-style firebox delivers the cleanest 150-degree smoke in the pellet game. Their new redesigned 2025 Prime 2.0 grills blend the proven technology of the past. The technology of the future. Green Mountain Grill is the proven and original innovator in all things Wi-Fi and continues to give the user granular options to control your grill in any environment and from anywhere. Green Mountain Grill also leading the pack in accessory creation, from their pizza attachment that delivers pizza in 2 minutes to rotisseries to add on to side burners as well. Check out the new 2.0 GMG at greenmountaingrills.com. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Whole packers, full racks, legs and thighs, injecting butts. If you've never heard this before, you might think you found the best XXX show ever. Let's get back to the most homoerotic host out there today, Greg Rempe.
And we thank Sam, the cooking guy, for joining us last segment. This portion of the show being brought to you by the Barbecue Diet Program, which is what I'm on, Sam. You tired of diets that make you choose between good food and real results? You don't have to anymore. Our pal Dave McDowell has cracked the code. Personalized fat loss coaching for barbecue lovers lets you eat foods you love, like ribs and brisket and wings, and still lose weight, get lean, and feel amazing. In fact, this is not a fad. It's a proven system that includes barbecue-friendly meal plans, tailored health strategies, and weekly check-ins, so you're never guessing, never alone, and never forced to give up what you love. Here's the deal. You can keep struggling on your own, or you can plug into a system that works. Join now and get exclusive access to expert coaching, real-world strategies, and a support crew that won't let you fail. Go to school.com. That's SKOOL, school.com/BBQ right now. And take the first step, because you can have barbecue and your dream body too, but you have to take action. Don't do that. Jimmy Shotwell weighing in here in the chat room saying, hey, will you be in Memphis for Memphis in May or the other one in Memphis? Jimmy, I will stand true as I have every year. Nope. Maybe next year. I feel like 2026 is the year that Memphis in May has my name all over it. As we look at the poll question of the week, washing any kind of meat is a learned behavior, and we'll end the poll right here. 92% of you are saying yes, that is a learned behavior. All right, well, let's go ahead and get on out of here. All the way back in the first hour was an extended Malcolm Reed talking about a number of topics, and then in the second hour was an extended Sam the Cooking Guy. Programming note, I mentioned I will be in Florida next week. There will be no show next week at all. No show. But we will be back on the 18th. We have a number of guests. Mike Lang will lead the show. A Wes Wright will be in. I believe we also have a Dave Gafford signing, although that could be next month. No, it's a Daniel Vaughn, for sure. I forget who 1014 is. But the show is filled out. Oh, Meathead is going to be in on the 18th as well. So I believe it's going to be Meathead leading the show, to a Wes Wright, to a Mike Lang, to a Daniel Vaughn, if you can believe. Star-studded show. So, how do I always leave you? September 11th, 2001. I will never forget. And until a week from next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, this is your program host and proud U.S. American Greg Rempe saying, Shamo!
This is Chris Payne from Euclid, Ohio, and you are listening to Barbecue Central.